Okay. Still, it's okay, fine. Mostly okay, but not 100%. Okay. Right. So we are going to start the motion under gravities uh, parts that we have to continue. Okay. So in the last week, we start the motion under gravity part. Okay. So we derived some equations, special details that we can obtain from the motion under gravity of an object. Okay. We derived some special equations. Can you recall them? Hmm? For the maximum height, maximum height an object will reach is going to be u squared over 2g. Okay, the time taken to reach the maximum height, the time taken to reach the maximum height is going to be Tm is equal to u over g. Okay, the time of flight, I mean an object starting to move from the ground level, it's moving to a maximum point and it's returning to the previous initial position. So the time taken for this flight is known as time of flight. The equation for this is from here to here, from here to this point, you take how much time? U over g, you take the same amount of time to reach the bottom when you are going from top to bottom. Okay, if there's no any AR resistance. So this is going to be UG twice. So we write it as 2UG, 2U over G. Okay, what's the next equation? What's it? The final velocity when you reach this place, the velocity is going to be, if this is sent by initial velocity u, this is going to be, the final velocity is going to be this exact velocity's magnitude but in the opposite direction. So if a vector is in the opposite direction, we mention it as negative. So if you throw a ball with 50 meters per second and if you catch the ball in the same level, it's going to be in the same speed. If you throw it at 50 meters per second, if you catch the ball in the same horizontal level, it's going to be 50 meters per second in the opposite direction. Understand? Okay, so you have to be cautious since this is vectors. So this is going to be minus u. Okay, how many variables do we have? Displacement, velocity, we have initial and final velocity. This is final velocity, this is initial velocity. So after that we have acceleration. So the main thing that frames, these are inertial objects. These are things that occur with time. Okay, with time only you can gain a distance. With time only you want to spend time to obtain a distance. You want to spend time to obtain a velocity, to obtain acceleration. So these are inertial. These are things that occur within an inertial frame. Okay, right. Let's look what an inertial frame is in the next tip. Okay. So these are the 5 variables that you have to stumble and tumble when you are going to do when you are going to solve an equation and solve a problem. Okay, so time, displacement, velocity, final velocity, u, initial velocity, and acceleration. So basically there are only 4 types: time, displacement, these 2 are velocities, and acceleration. Understand? Right? Okay, so these are the main basic equation that you have to keep in mind to do essay questions. To what? For MCQs. You can't use these equations to do essay questions, you have to derive them. You have to derive them. We derived those equations in the last class. Likewise, you have to derive them. That means you have to keep in mind how you derive those equations that I gave last week. Understand when you are doing these parts. So when they are saying to find the maximum height, you have to put those, you have to follow those steps. Okay. So today we are going to start from the page number we completed the theory on page number 2, and we did solved exercise 1, apple falling from a tree, and we did solved exercise 2, and we are going to move on to the 5th page, right? Yeah, 5th page, solved exercise 3. Okay. I guess we don't need this. Okay, fine. Let's write it. Right. Solved exercise 3. Solved exercise 3. Okay. Now we are going to do these equations. These questions. So what does it say? In a cannon, bullet, that question, eh? Okay, right. In a cannon, bullet shooted vertically upwards with a velocity of 50 meters per second. The only data they have given is the projected velocity. So it is known as the initial velocity. So what have I said? If you get a question from motion under gravity, first of all, what you have to do? You have to draw a diagram. Okay, you have to draw a diagram. The diagram here, they haven't given the diagram, so you have to draw it. Okay, so they have projecting an object in the upward direction from the ground. Okay, right. So what's the initial velocity? U is equal to how much? 50, right, 50 meters per second, 50 meters per second, right. So what's the first question? Roman number 1, the maximum height it reaches, the maximum height it reaches. Can anybody say it by using the short formula? What's the shortest formula? U squared over 2g. So the initial velocity is 50 squared divided by 2. What is g? Gravitational acceleration, that is 9.8 in the real world, but for A-level syllables we take it as 10 meters per square second, and that is 10. So this is going to be 50 squared, I mean 5 squared is equal to 25, so 10 squared is going to be 2 zeros, 2500 divided by 2 multiplied by 10, so this is going to be 20. This 0 to this 0 cancels off, so 250 divided by 2 is going to be 125. So what is 125? The maximum height this cannon bullet reached. So this height is going to be 125. So since these are essay questions, we are not going to use these equations. We are going to derive them. Okay. So go to your previous note. How did we start? Okay. You have to write the variables and start to do it. Okay. Right. So what are the things that we know when it is going to reach the maximum height? Roman number 1. So maximum height. Okay. So we know the initial velocity. Okay. We are going to find the distance, displacement, the maximum height. The next thing that we know is, what is it? At this maximum height, people, you have to remember the velocity is going to decrease. So when you project something upwards, that gradually the velocity of this object, what happens? It decreases and it becomes 0. Okay, this velocity decreases. So this is a little bit longer, this is not longer, a little bit short. Okay, I represent that in this arrow. So the length of this arrow is gradually decreasing, and that becomes 0 at one point, and that ball again starts its motion a little bit. The velocity is increasing, and finally it is equal. This arrow is equal to this. Just assume that. Okay, understand? So at this maximum height, the velocity is 0 meters per second. Understand? Which velocity? We are throwing it vertically upwards. Okay, so it has only a vertical velocity, no any horizontal velocity. So when I am throwing this like this, it is moving horizontally as well as vertically. Understand? This is not an inclined projection, this is a vertically upwards projection. So when it is moving upwards, it has only a vertical velocity. Understand? Right? So the vertical velocity is 0 meters per second. You will understand why I am mentioning it as vertical velocity, because when you go to inclined motions, you have to consider the vertical as well as the horizontal part. So here the horizontal velocity is 0. It doesn't have a velocity. Horizontally, it's not moving, it's going upwards and downwards. But here I drew it for your what? For your understanding. So this doesn't move like this in a U shape, in the upside down U shape. This moves vertically upwards and vertically downwards. Understand? Okay, right. So here I know these details, so I am going to apply this from here to the maximum point. So what did I miss? I missed from where to where I am going to apply this. So starting point I am going to mention it as A, and the point that I am going to search I am going to name it as B. So I am going to apply the equation from A to B. So right, we are writing that step after this. So I am going to apply this from A to B. So from A to B, in the sense I am mentioning this as an arrow. Why? So this is motion equations. So lot of many variables other than time is a vector quantity. So the direction is really important. So here you have to observe that I took starting point as A and the ending point as B. So the things above this A level, not A level, this A's level, okay, is going to be positive. I mean in this direction. So when the gravitational acceleration is in this direction. Ne? So if we are considering everything upwards as positive, if anything is in the downward direction, is going to be negative. Okay, understand? Right. So what we are going to do is we know the velocity. Let me erase this. Right. And this. Okay. So we know the initial velocity, the displacement, and we know the which velocity? Final velocity from A to B. What's the final velocity? What is it? The final point is B, right? So at the B point, what is the velocity? It is 0. It is 0. It is 0. So we know the final velocity. We know the displacement. Do you know the displacement? No. We are going to find the displacement. We are going to know it. So in the equation, you should have displacement. So what's the next thing that you know? Acceleration. In motion under gravity, you have 5 unknowns, but every time you are going to know the acceleration. Only the sign changes. It's positive or negative, you have to determine it. Okay. Out of this time, displacement, velocity, initial and final, every time you know this A, that is 10 meters per second. Say 10 meters per square second. Understand? So this is not a variable. You know this. So only you have 4 variables to tingle with. Understand? Right. So I'm going to mention it. So it is simple A. Okay. So we derived 4 motion equations. So in each and every motion equations, we have how many variables? Only 4 variables. I mentioned we have 5 variables, but in each and every equation, we used only 4. So do we have 4 variables? Yes. So we can apply that for an equation. We have U, S, V and A. What is the equation, people? That's going to be which equation? First equation, that is V equal U plus AT. Second equation, S equal U plus V divided by 2 into T. Third equation is V squared is equal to U squared. Am I correct? Am I correct? No. Before starting, you have to mention the direction. That is a compulsory step. Okay. Direction. After that, V squared is equal to U squared plus 2as. This equation you have to remember. You will get remembered if you do questions. If you are that dumb to do questions, that you won't remember this. Okay. Right. Fine. So we know the velocity. What is the final velocity? That's going to be 0. So the velocity in here, it is in this direction or this direction? Which direction? At that point, what's the velocity? That is 0. So 0 in the sense no magnitude, so no directions. So you know if it is upwards or downwards, it is 0. It is no, you don't have positive or negative 0. You have only 1 zeros. Okay, right. So U square, that is in upward direction. So this is 50 meters per second. So we consider upwards as the positive direction. We consider upward as the positive direction. A to B, that is the positive direction, right? So that U is going to be what? Positive 50 squared. Positive 50 squared, right? Plus 2 is a constant, and A. What is A, people? What is A? The A is the acceleration, and in this case, that is going to be the gravitational acceleration, and that is towards the center of the earth. So this is in the downwards direction. You have to mention it like this every time. So this is in the downward direction. We are considering upwards as positive. So since this is in negative direction, this is going to be what? Negative 10. This is going to be negative 10. Negative 10. Okay, right. I missed something else. What is it? I missed to write these parts. So u is going to, you have to mention this. Then only you can write it. You can solve the equation much faster. H is going to be S. I'm going to find it. That is the maximum height, m. V is going to be 0 meters per second. A is going to be this part, so it is negative 10 meters per square second. If you are going to write these things in the before starting, it's going to be much easier. Okay, right. So S, what is S? HM. HM means one letter. Okay, okay, right. Okay, fine. So this is going to be 50 squared positive. These are all multiplication, 2 multiplied by minus 10 multiplied by HM. So positive negative is negative, negative positive is negative. So still every part has a negative. Understand? Multiplication, positive negative negative, negative positive again negative. So this is negative. 2 times 10, 20, 20 times HM, 20 HM is going to be equal to 0. So I'm going to take this minus part to this side. So this is going to be 20 HM is equal to 50 squared. On the next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to expand this. I'm going to solve this. 50 times 50, that's hard. 25, 5 times 5, that's going to be 25. You have 1 0, 0 squared. I mean 0 squared is 0. But here, it is in the second decimal place. So that's going to be double zeros. Okay, 25,000 divided by this 20. I'm going to take this to the numerator. I mean, I'm dividing the whole equation both side by 20. But I'm not mentioning it. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm going to write it here. So this is going to be 20 and this is HM. Understand? Okay, right? Is it complex for you? It should be complex. Okay, 250 divided by 2. And right, we got the answer 125 meters. Okay, we got it from that equation as well, right? So what you have to do, I have given you spaces below that in the solved exercise answer part. You have to divide that into 4 parts. Okay, you have a space like a rectangular space, and you have to divide like this. You have to write from tiny letters, or you can skip steps if you all know steps, and you have to manage the space. Okay, right, start write this. The diagram is not given there. You have to draw the diagram as well. So can you see this? Okay. You didn't receive that nifty, okay? I'll give it to the next week. You wrote it. So I mentioned it again and again. What this is the theory tude. In the theory tude, you don't have any rights to write before I'm writing. Okay, because the space you have to manage when I'm writing. So what you have to do is after I'm writing first ask the lecture. I mean the things that I'm teaching. You have to watch it and you have to understand them. After that you have to write. Okay, if you write well while I'm teaching, then it's going to be really stupid because you are still OL kids still. Okay, you didn't become advanced level. So for that you have to understand that, right? But you have to develop that. You have to come to the level that when I'm writing, you have to understand as well as you write. But now this is not that level. Understand? So you'll know when you are going to university. In universities, what you have to do is the lecturer is not giving time to write. You have to write the notes when he is teaching. That's a skill. So how do you get a skill? From birth. That's talent, or talent, skill, whatever it is. So talent also you can make a talent. So you have to make this skill. You have to develop little by little. Don't write it here from now. Don't try to do. You can try this question in whatever another piece of paper. The thing is, don't write in this tube because The next time, this tute is your mother reference book. So you have to see how you did that question. So if you did it by your own, it can be mistaken. Okay? So if you come and refer it again, you are going to be in the wrong path. So that's why just keep this in mind when you are doing the other classes also. Soon. Right. Let's move on to the second part. Okay, you wrote it? If you're, yeah, we are much curious because we are still in the beginning. So you will try to do those questions. So if you want to do it in a separate paper. Okay, so it's much better. Right. Let's go to the next part. So the question number 2, Roman number 2. Question number 2. What are they saying to find? They're telling us to find the time taken to reach the maximum height, Tm. So the equation for Tm is u over g. The initial velocity is 50 divided by 10. This is going to be. So do we write this as minus 10? Why? Because when we are deriving this equation, we substituted the g as minus g. So after we substituted that g as minus g, we don't want to write it again. So this is positive now because this is a derived equation. Okay. So 50 over 10 is going to be 5 what? Milliseconds. 5 seconds. So to reach the maximum height, it's going to take 5 seconds. So we are going to do that part. Right. Okay. So the variables and the path, everything we have to mention. Right. We know the initial velocity. Right, we know it is 50 meters per second and it is positive. We are going to apply this equation from A to B, okay, and that is going to be positive direction. So we know the what we are going to find the time. Okay, we are going to find the time. We are going to write it as Tm, right? So I know the acceleration, that is going to be minus 10 meters per second per square second. Okay, what's the next detail that we know? That's it. Do we know the displacement? Yeah, we know the displacement. Okay, we can write like that way also, but what's the next detail we know? At the maximum height, the velocity is 0. So it's better to put a 0 inside the equation than putting 125 because that whole part will become 0. Okay, right. So I'm going to write this equation respective to u. This is meters per second, right? Understand? The final velocity means the velocity at the point B. Initial velocity means the point at A. So we are throwing the object in this direction. Initial velocity 50, final velocity 0. Understand? Okay, right. If you don't understand, just raise the hand. I will explain again. Okay, so I'm going to apply UTAV. What's the equation? The first equation, V equal U plus AT. Okay, so it is going to be V equal. Is this V? No, we have to mention the direction. V equals U plus AT. Final velocity is 0, people. Initial velocity is 50 plus minus 10. T is going to be Tm. Okay, time taken to reach the maximum height. Right, what we are going to do? 50 positive, negative, positive, again negative. So 10 Tm is equal to 0. So I'm going to take 10 Tm again here. 10 Tm is equal to 50. So from this step, when you advance, you can cut this to this 0. Okay, you can cut it. You can do like that. Okay. So in A levels, you can write this step, and you can write Tm is equal to 5. You can skip steps. They are not giving marks for steps. Max people are very happy, ne? Right. So here you have to write Tm is equal to 50 divided by 10, and this is going to be equal to 5 seconds. This 0, this 0, you can cancel it. Sin x divided by n. They'll know this joke. Huh? I saw this on Reddit. Sin x divided by x. Okay, sin x, we don't write this in bracket. Okay, what is this? This is 6. How it becomes 6? Hmm? You cancel this and this, and it is going to be 6. So this is 6. Is it correct? Huh? Hmm? I see like these shows when you look max stuffs in your YouTube. I once saw once they are cancelling brackets to brackets, and that the denominator sign you have like this name. So 1 whatever n here x over 5. They are cancelling this. See, once we were making a science drama in our school. Normally, in every science school, we have a science day. So on the science day, for the English section, we had to make a drama. I was the one who was I was writing the story. So I went to put this part. So the thing is, after that, the theme of the science drama changed. So we didn't want this. The theme was time travel. So still, you can watch it. Just type CULE Science Drama 2023, I guess. Yeah, 2023. Still, it is on YouTube. But the thing was, we didn't get any mics. So, yeah, just Golu people in that video. Right, it is 5 seconds. Okay, write it up. You should know the short method as well as the long method. Okay. So, after some time, when you are doing questions and questions every day and night, when you wake up early in the morning, you will see equations everywhere. Really. But only if you do sums every day. If not, you won't go to that level. There are different sort of people, okay? Some people can solve questions when they are sleepy. Because when you are doing questions, you get sleepiness. So your mind is practiced to that. Sleepiness, you get the answer. Because you are doing, if you are sleepy, you are doing it still. So when you get sleepy, it's easy to solve a question. Not me, I won't get sleepy when I'm doing questions. One of my friends, when he's going to sleep, he talks mathematics stuff. Right, okay, fine. Jokes apart, let's go to the third question, okay? Copy this down soon. Third question. What's the third question? Flight time. Flight time, you got 5 seconds, that's going to be 10 seconds. Easy. Understand? Or you can use the 2u over g. This is going to be 2 multiplied by 50 divided by 10. This to this cancels off. 2 times 5 is going to be 10. Okay? You can do it in the short method as well. But here, what are you going to do? We are going to do the same steps. But here you have to understand this, especially max peoples. You have something known as border conditions. Okay? Border conditions. So here we can break down this motion into 2 parts. We can break down this motion into 2 parts, 2 phases actually, from here to here and from here to here. Okay, so in this case we have 3 border conditions. This is a border, this is a border, and this is a border. So in these border conditions, we know some of the variables with their values. So in here we know the initial velocity. Okay, so from here to here we know in this point the velocity is going to be 0. Okay, from here to here the displacement is going to be 0. Why? It came to the same position. So in those border conditions, people, you have to understand that it is much easier to solve a question when you are going to put that equation to the border conditions. So in this case, what we are going to do, we are going to find the flight time. So this object went here and came to the exact location. So that is known as the time. Here it is t0, here it is t equals t. In the stopwatch it is t. Okay, so the time taken from here to here is going to be t. Okay, that is known as the time of flight. Okay, so this came from this horizontal position to this horizontal position. So I threw it up from this phone and it went up and came down here and landed here. So the horizontal level doesn't change. So what is the displacement? So what's the definition for displacement? The shortest distance from the initial point to the final point. So this went up and came to the exact location. So the displacement is 0. Understand? So that is a border condition. So what I'm going to do is, to solve the time of flight, I'm going to use the border condition situations. Okay, right. So I have a data known as S equals 0. So especially when I'm solving this part, you have to remember I'm going to use the S part here, and it is going to be 0 meters. So what I'm going to find? I'm going to find T. That is going to be TF, time of flight. And I know A is equal to minus 10 meters per second. So the data they have given here is, the data given in the question, what is it? Numerical data, 50 meters per, that is U. U is equal to 50 meters per second. Okay, UTSA, what is it? S equals UT plus half it is square, the fourth equation. So I'm going to apply that from A to B and consider A to B direction as positive, right? You have to follow each and every steps. So up S equals UT plus half AT squared, right? What's the distance from here to here? From A to B, is anything wrong or is everything correct? So A to B, people. So where did I mention as B here? What is B here? B is this top location, right? So if I'm applying this to here, I can't write it as A to B. I should mention it. Now I'm applying this from A to C. Understand, from A to C, or from A to A also you can write it, okay? Because it's come to the same location, right? A to C. Oh my God. A to C. So here this is a scratch work. So that in your main figure you can mark it as A to C. So here for my easiness I'm going to write this is A, B and this is C. So here I'm going to apply this equation from A to C. A to C, right? A to C. So I'll erase the unwanted parts. This. Okay. There are many unwanted dots here. Right. Okay. So S, that is 0, initial velocity, that is plus 50, and the time, that is T, what? TF. And this is plus half A, that is minus 10, and T, that is TF squared. Okay, max people got scared. You have a scared value. So it's going to be a what equation? Quadratic equation. So since you can do in two ways, mathematically and by using the physics knowledge, and then mathematically. The easiest part is thinking physically and doing mathematically. If you are going to do this mathematically, you get two solutions. I said that if you are powered to 2, you get two solutions, and those two solutions are real. I mean, you get the time of flight as 0 and you get a value, another value. So if you have a scared quadratic equation, you get two answers. You'll know that. Okay, something like inside a bracket and something inside a bracket is equal to 0. Okay, so you get two solutions, x minus something and x minus something, 8. So x equal to 9 or x equal to 8. So here also, since you have the power of 2 and t, you will get two answers. Understand? So one is going to be t equals tf is equal to 0, and one is going to be tf is going to have a value. So the explanation is, one value is going to be the value from A to A. When you're again it's coming to the same level, in the sense before you are throwing, you are in the same level. That means at the moment, at the instant you are going to throw it, it's at the same location. So what's the time taken to, from the time you are thinking to throw and the time that you are starting to throw? That's like negligible, and that's 0. That is also the time of flight. From that position to the exact position, you can go to up and come down, or you can stay in that exact place. So the time will be 0, or the time will be, can have some time, can have a value. Understand? So we can solve this mathematically. So we will get two solutions. Or we can think that we are finding the time of flight. So time of flight in the sense you have to go up and down. So you are going to neglect the TF is equal to 0. Okay, understand? Right. So when I am thinking it physically and by using physics, I am going to do the mathematics part. I have to mention it. But I have to mention that TF is greater than 0. Why? We are going to find the time of flight. Okay, for that only, but I'm not going to mention it here. I'm going to mention it below part. Then only you can do the steps. Right. Here again, like I did in the other parts, is equal to 50 TF, positive, negative, 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 positive, again negative. Okay, right? 10 TF squared is equal to 0. So I'm going to take this TF this side. 10 TF squared is equal to 50 TF. So max students know that you can cancel this T to this T. You have 2 T's here, you have 1 T there. Okay, you can cut this to this T, you can make a plain T. Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do is, I can do in the both ways. I can take this side, so it will be 10 TF squared minus 50 TF is equal to 0, and you can solve the quadratic equation by taking the common factor. 5 TF outside, and inside you have 2 TF is equal to minus 1 is equal to 0. You have two solutions like this. Okay, 5 TF, sorry, not 5, I'm sorry, it's going to be you are going to be, yeah, what, divide by 2, right, that ne? You have the divide by 2. I took that here. Okay, I can simplify this. This is going to be 5. Sorry for the thing. Okay, this is going to be 5. All right. Okay, so I can take this 50 here. I can take this 50 here and solve it mathematically like this. Okay, how? You have 5 TFs. This is one step I'm doing mathematically. TF squared minus 50 TF is equal to 0. I can take 5 TF outside. TF, 1 TF is inside here. I took 5 TF. So here I took 5 TF. So here only 10 is equal to 0. Understand? This is just an explanation. Okay. So two objects, when you multiply, you get 0. So one of it should be 0. So 5 TF should be 0, or 10 minus 5 TF minus 10 should be 0. So TF is equal to 10, or TF is equal to, if 5 TF is equal to 0, 5 TF is equal to 0, this can't be 0, it is 5. So, but which should be 0? TF should be 0. So you have two solutions as TF equal to 0, or you have TF equal to 0, or I will write it directly here. Therefore 5 TF is equal to 0, or TF minus 10 equal to 0, TF is equal to 0, or TF is equal to 10 second. Okay, this is the mathematical part. So in mathematical part you get two solutions, but the thing is, it is much better to do it in the physics method. So I'm going to neglect this answer. Okay, so what I'm going to write, a statement TF is greater than 0. Okay, TF is greater than 0. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to divide both of these equation by TF squared. This is 50 TF. So I'm going to divide this by TF and this by TF, and I have a 5 here. I have a 5. So again I'm going to divide this by 5. Why? I'm going to omit this 5. I won't omit me. Why? I have to subject one TF. We have 2 TFs. I'm going to subject one TF from here. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to divide both sides by TF as well as 5. Why I'm dividing it by 5? Because I want to cancel this coefficient. Understand? Okay, right. So without writing this, you can't come to this step. Why? You can't divide any variable or any number when that number is equal to 0. Why? I said that if you are going to divide a variable by 0, this is known as undefined. This is undefined. This doesn't have a value. You can't divide any number by 0. That is undefined, or you can think that as infinity. If you divide something into tiny pieces, you can cut how many pieces? Infinity of pieces. That's the explanation. Understand? So you can't divide anything by 0. So what did I do? Before dividing this by TF, TF is 0. If I didn't mention this step, it is a mathematical error. Why? If I didn't mention it as 0, I am going to divide this both equation by 0 by TF is equal to 0. Then this is going to be an error. So this is also an error, and if you divide 0 by a 0, that is also an error. You can't divide any number by a 0. That is going to be undefined. So to omit that error, I am mentioning TF is greater than 0. Then only I can start to divide by TF. Understand? Okay, right? All right. So I mentioned it here, and the next case is I want to find the time of flight, not the time of staying stationary, right? So I'm going to find it. So TF is equal to, I cancel this one to this 5 to this TF to this, and there's a 5 here, this 5 to this 50, and that is going to be 10. Lot of cuttings and works. Understand? Right. So TF is going to be how much? How much? You have to have a good eyesight. I cancel this off. You should not be able to see this. I cancel this off. So you have only 10 and TF. Understand? You have to have a good eyesight. Right. TF. Who have done scholarships? Done. Yeah. You? Scholarship. Grade 5 government school? No. Done. What the description I have to give you? So in scholarships, you have to find the odd one. Like, so you have to find which, you have to see only the wanted parts, not the unwanted parts. You should have that skill also, right? So there is going to be 10 seconds. This is the working. The only thing is, this smartest board in this world is not good enough for me. Oh, let's try. Only a couple of days. I'm going to move on to next hole. So I'm going to change the smart board. If not, this is really hard. Wait, don't start right. I'm still making the note. Alright. So, unwanted stuff. Okay, now you can start write this, only this part. Other parts you'll know. Can you see this? Can I call you last benches? Okay. No, you have to come front, okay? If not, I will call that name. So there are people who are talented in the last bench, ne? Can you see it? What? No. To be a last bencher, you should have a good eyesight from experience. Fine. She has a spectacle. She will be okay. You don't have. Next time you bring a magnifying glass. No, telescope. You can see it. No, you have to come front. Okay, you're fine. So there's another technique also, this one. So most of the people who have that eagerness to solve the question before the lecturer does, what they do is they do in a scratch paper everything, right? They give no tute also in lecture. Some lecturers give tutes like this stuff. So we have to fill that. But some people they like to decoratively write that as well as they have to do that work when lecturer is doing it. So Those two are contradictory. You can't do both of that at one time. So what they're doing, they're taking a sketch paper, writing everything what lecturer speaks and every stuff, and after going home, they are going to take the outputs from that and write in the theory note. So you are going to learn stuffs twice. That's better. Yeah, I have done that when I was in the fourth semester. I mean, in A levels, the fourth half, second year's last half. Okay, we have to move to the next question soon. So if you missed anything, okay, I'll try to send the note of somebody from here. I'll select and I'll put it to the group. If not, you can watch the recording again, and you have every facilities. We didn't have that much. Okay, right. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so I'm going to write in the next page. If not, it's going to be hard. So 3 questions or 4 questions we have? 4 questions. So final velocity when it strikes back, you should find the velocity. So you know the initial velocity, you have to find the final velocity. You that is a border condition. So s is equal to 0, you know that a is equal to minus 10 meters per square second, s is equal to 0, velocity is equal to v final, you have to find it, u is equal to 50 meters per second. So VUSA, what is it? What is it? A square equal U square plus 2AS. So I'm going to put it from A to B, A to C, positive direction. Okay. V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. VF squared, you have U squared, that is 50 squared plus 2 multiplied by minus 10 and multiply that by 0. Wow. That's the beautiful thing here. You can't divide anything by 0. That is a mathematical error. But the beautiful thing is you can multiply anything by 0. Then the result will be 0. 1 billion, 1 trillion, whatever you multiply by 0, that's going to be 0. Okay. So here you have many values, multiply by 0. So until you have a multiplication symbol, you can make it as 0. So VF squared, so that's another beautiful thing. I can cancel this square to square. Okay, so VF is equal to, but the main thing you have to remember is when you're taking square roots, you have 2 square root values, plus or minus 50. You know that name? Square root of 4 is going to be not only plus 2, plus or minus 2. This is all knowledge. Can you remember? No. You have 2 square roots. You multiply plus 2 by plus 2, that is 4, plus 4. You multiply negative 2 by negative 2, that is also going to be positive 4. You multiply negative 2 multiplied by positive 2, that is going to be negative 4. Positive 2 by negative 2, that is going to be again negative 4. So, and these are not identical. Square roots means both of the digits should be identical. So these are not identical. So you can't take square root of negative 4 also. Why? You don't have square root for negative 4. You can't make that by identical positive. The numerical value is identical, but the sign is different. So you don't have a negative square root for negative substance. So that becomes another set of numerical numbers, and that is known as imaginary numbers. Okay. You have negative values also. So imaginary answers also you can take. From here, what you are going to do? What you are going to write is you can omit one part. You can omit one. You have to omit. So you have 2 final velocities. From here to here, one is going to be negative velocity. That means it is in this direction, but the initial velocity in this direction. We considered A to C is positive. So from C to A is negative. Understand? So one is negative 50. That means the velocity is towards the gravity, towards the center of Earth. Next one is positivity. What's the meaning of positive 50? If I didn't throw it, the initial velocity is going to be the final velocity as well. So that's positive 50. Understand? So here I'm going to neglect the positive part. Okay. The final velocity is 50 meters per second towards the earth. Earth. Okay. There's a lot to write in that space, ne? Okay.
So we have to use the phrase towards the earth, not minus.
Minus, that means?
Means like we minus velocity. That
You can't write it. This is negative. That is max. That is the mathematics part. I said max is a language to communicate, but to understand to a brain, we have to give things physically. So there's a small part that I have to mention here. I did a mathematical error here. You can't take square roots when there's a plus mark. So here there should be another step. You see, that's okay because you'll know that error, what is it, okay? So this should be like this. Understand? Okay, okay. It's past 11 o'clock. Let's go to the fourth question. Okay. Finished. Okay, right. Now let's go to the next question. The fourth solved exercise. What is it? The fourth solved exercise. Find the time taken by a bullet projected vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 40 meters per second to pass a point at height 75 meters. A bullet took time. Bullet projected vertically upwards. Okay. Everything I'm going to draw as a ball. It is much easier. I'm not going to color it. Just this thing is enough. Velocity. It is going to go up. I can't draw dotted lines in this smartest board. So here you have 75 meters. You don't know if it is at a higher level than the maximum or it is under the maximum point. You don't know it. You don't know. So what you are going to do is, let's see. Okay. So this point, the other details is find the time taken by a bullet vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 40 meters per second. 40 meters per second. The time, so here we have to think this as the 75 meters below the maximum point, okay, this is the maximum point, below the maximum point. If not, we can't find it. Okay, so here the initial time of your stopwatch is 0. Here you are going to take it as t equals t, not time of flight, not time of maximum. So this is going to be t equals t. Understand? Right. So other things that you have to mention, gravitational acceleration, that is g is equal to 10 meters per square second, and the next part you know is meters per square second. What's the next detail that you know? Data. Go and see how many numerical things that you can find in the question. You have the initial velocity, and what's the next part? The height. They have given the height. So the height is 75 meters. So this is going to be s. So s is equal to 75. So I know s, I want t, I know acceleration, I know the initial velocity. So the question is going to be easy. T is equal to t, a is equal to minus 10, and u is equal to 40, and s is equal to 75. I'm not going to write the units, you have to write the units. Okay. Sorry. Okay, right. So here I'm going to from here to here. So I don't want to mention the path, but it's better if we can mention the path. So from A to B as positive. So this is A, right? So we are going to do the question, right? So what's the equation? AUAT, sorry, TAUS. This T doesn't belong to this, ne? This is here. I'll keep it here, okay? I'll keep it here. So what is it? S equal U T plus half AT square. So I'm going to mention S equals UT plus half AT square towards up. So the height we know that as 75, initial velocity that is 40, the time taken we have to find it T plus half A minus 10, T we have to find T squared. Okay, fine. So let's find it. So 40T positive, negative, 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 positive, negative. So half. So I can solve something here. So minus 10 T squared divided by 2. Okay, understand? So I can cancel this here. For your easiness, I will cancel it here. So 10 divided by 2, that is going to be 5. Okay, so here still that is 75, right? So again, we don't want to go this much step. Okay, if you are that much brilliant, you can skip steps. Just write the equation, write the answer, that's okay. Okay, you get the marks. 40 T minus 5 T squared 75. Okay, now there's something here. Okay, so here there's no any zeros, so you can't cancel T to T, so you have to solve this quadratic equation. So the easiest thing is, you can see 75, 45 multiples of 5. So I'm going to divide the whole equation. You can write a statement here, divide by 5 whole equation. This is Shen mark equation, you can write it, or you can write it. So I'm not a person who is going to write like this. Okay, so you can write this is the easiest way. Okay, so 75 divided by 5, how much? 15. 40 divided by 5, 5 divided by 5, T squared. Okay, so I'm going to assemble this as in O levels. T I took this side, minus 80, and here plus 15. Understand this part? Okay, right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this common multiple and those stuff. So this is the sum, this is the product. So there's an easy method to remember. Sometimes I take the product here and I take the sum here. Okay, I get confused. There's an easy method to but omit that confusion. So here I have to make 8 and make 15. Okay, product and sum. So here sum, and this is product 15. So did I do something wrong? Yeah, no. So you can see that you can make this by 5 plus 3 and 5 times 3. Okay, so the thing is, the addition should be negative. The addition should be negative. So one of these can be negative, or both should be negative. Both should be negative. So we are going to minus this by this. So again, if 5 multiplied by minus 3, yeah, negative, negative, positive 15. Understand? Okay, this is a max part. If you all need, you should be able to understand this. Okay, right? 5 and 3 are the numbers, but we can't take this. We can't take this either. This is okay, but this is not okay. Okay, so this is the best possible part. So I'm going to write this in 2 parts. You can directly write this as T minus 5, T minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, this is easy. If you find the factors, you can write it directly. If not, you can write a step between these two by factorizing step. You have 2 steps between this. You have to elongate this and you have to factorize this. T squared minus 5t minus 3t plus 15 is equal to 0. And then you have to factorize this. I'm going to take t here outside, and here t minus 5. Again, I'm going to take minus 3 here. T minus I took here, so here it's going to be positive. So this is t. So here it is positive. To make positive, I have to multiply negative by negative. 5 divided by 3 is going to be 5 is equal to 0. So I took t minus 5 here out of both of this, and t minus 3 is there. I have said that when you have a minus or a plus sign, that says that the whole equation is divided into 2, 3 universes. So here this negative sign divides the whole part, but this bracket holds that universe. So it is one packet. Okay, this negative that divides these two, but this is like bracket is like a shopping bag. Okay, it puts everything together, but this negative part here, this is going to divide. I am considering this equation, but there are no brackets to hold this. So this is a separate part, this is a separate part. Same figures inside separate parts, you can take them out. So I took t minus 5 outside. So here I have t and here I have minus 3 that got together and t minus 3. Okay, understand? Right. So from here, after that you have two answers. You should be able to explain those answers also. You have two answers. One is t is equal to 3 and t. I hate this step, but for you all I'm going to write it. Okay. T minus 5 is equal to 0. Oh, write this in capital letter, that is much better, because t minus is equal to 0, because you write 0 and O. If not, you write it as double zeros. So this is going to be t is equal to 5 or t is equal to 3. So somebody who is going to repeat this O, that's real BS. Okay, you don't want to write, just one OR is enough. Okay, so this is t equals 5 and t equals 3. So the time taken to reach that 75 meters is 5 seconds or 3 seconds. Both are okay. So how can an object go to one place with two different times? How is it? You are throwing something up. I'll tell you, I'm throwing something from this level. It's going. I want to find the time taken to reach this level, but it has two times. That means this is going and coming up, going up and coming down. So the time to go in this direction is one time, and the next time from here to again to this location. That's the next time. So this is from t equals 0 to t equals 5, and this is again t equals 0 to t equals 5. T equals 0 to t equals 5. Understand? T equals 0 to t equals 5. This is not t equals 3 to t equals 5. Understand? From here to here and from here to again to here. Understand? So can you find the time from here to here, from this location? Is it possible for us to find this time? Which time? From this point to this point, this part. If it take 5 seconds to this, 3 seconds to this, so from here to here, 5 seconds. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3, that's going to be 2 seconds. Understand? Okay? Right. So that is the answer. So these are the magical steps in linear motion equation. So you get answers at once. Okay, right. So you have to explain this. You have a statement, right? So after copying this down, oh, this is the hardest part. Okay, fine. Better, it's better if you can gain more students to this class. Then we can have a student's voice and change this whiteboard. The next smart board is really best. I used it, but this is really, I don't know why. So you can have a student's voice. The next thing is I'm going to do a project. Okay, I'm going to do a project for students, English medium students in Ratnapura. Okay, this is a project that I'm organizing. I'm going to plan it. Okay, here's the 0 sign. Right. Okay, if you all see that from our batch, okay, medical plus engineering students, the ones who did maths and ones who did bio, if we add all the English medium students, only 2 students went to engineering or medical faculties. Only 2 students. There were like 50 or 60, 70 students, I guess. 50 to 60 students. All C Valley, Aloysius, there's no English medium, C Valley, Lyceum, private school and every school. Okay, Lyceum, Ferguson, and where is this Balangoda Central or something, I don't know, Haligoda Central. In the whole district they have only 2 students, one me and the next one my roommate, engineering students. There were no any medical students. Wow. I don't know if there are no any students in the second shy or third shy from our batch. You can see how critical that is in Ratnapura. Okay, so for that I'm going to join all of my batchmates and I'm going to make a community for English medium students who are doing A-level science in Ratnapura. Okay, so I'll mention. Oh, sorry, I'm really sorry. Uh, so you have to mention everyone to join that community, but that's going to be in Telegram. So I have a plan to shift this our class also to Telegram because Telegram has a lot of features. The thing is, it's not that much and bad now. They have put many safety features. Can you see this? Fine. So you can put bots and stuff. It is really easy. So I have plans to do many things. The main situation in Ratnapura is we don't have good classes. So if we take single medium students, they don't have only theory classes. They have paper classes, they have revision classes, they have rapid revision classes, they have fast track papers. My God, there's a lot of programs. So whatever the programs you go, you can win this race. This is a race, okay? This is a race. So before our batch, we are 2024, 2020 second batch, there was an island first from Max from English medium, Royal College. Did you watch that in an YouTube channel? A level Kuppi, I guess they are doing that in their YouTube channel. They are it's a legacy, okay? They are doing that continuous for years. What they're doing is they are interviewing island firsts. It started from 2022. I was a fan of that, but I collect every island first ranks interviews and watch them bio or max whatever. So just watch it, then you will understand what are the skills that we the what the maximum level that we can go from this A level. Okay, they are super talented, but everything comes with practice. So many students who get island first, they start to go to A level classes from grade 10. It's hard to believe, but they go for classes from grade 10. There are a lot of students, but never in English medium, never an English medium student does that. In Ratnapura mostly. So many people start going to class after their O-level results come. But here what they are doing is in single mediums, before they start O-level, they start A-level. Okay. You'll know Yashodhara Akka. That Akka, and but I was not that student. But I did. 2 years is really adequate to go through this journey. Okay, finish. Write down. If not, screenshots, people. So today it worked, but sometimes the recording it's lagging. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the fifth question. We have to write a statement. Okay, under that. I mean, like 2 sentences, but I think you need 4 to 5 lines. You have a box, ne? I have given a box. No, not that box. In the previous tute, I have given a box for them. I gave temporary. Sorry. Is it okay? I have given a box solved for. So I think you would need like 5 lines to write that statement. Try to write it. I'll give a descriptive one. Okay, start write it. Here, start write under the solution for solved exercise 4. Here, comma, 2 values are obtained for the time. 2 values are obtained for the time. comma, out of which one value is the out of which one value is the here two values are obtained for the time, out of which one value is the time taken to pass the time taken to pass the 75-meter point, time taken to pass the 75-meter point, time taken to pass the 75-meter point when moving upwards while the other value in brackets, right inside brackets, 5 seconds, while the other value 5 seconds inside brackets is the time spent, start the bracket, 5 seconds, close the bracket, after that is the time spent when it is passing the 75 when it is passing the 75-meter point 75-meter point when falling back 5 seconds is the time spent when it is passing 75 meter point when falling back. Okay, if you want you can draw a small diagram from here to here and from here to here and here. So it's better to draw the balls in different colors. One, two, three. Okay. So this, that, and that. So you can write this as 1, 2, and 3. You can tell from 1 to 2 and 1 to 3. 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. T equals 3 seconds. T equals 5 seconds. 2 to 3. Therefore, 2 to 3. So these days, my phone, my laptop, and this smart board, everything is getting lagged. I don't know why. 2 to 3, 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 seconds. Right? Okay. Let's go to the 5th question. Okay, that's your time. 5th question. 5th, ne? Yeah, I guess you have a diagram. Yes, this is a beautiful question. Okay, thinkers can think while I'm writing. Solved exercise 5. Okay. Find the time taken by a stone projected vertically upwards with an initial velocity 30 meters per second to fall back into a 35-meter deep well. Okay, you are going to throw in an object with, better write in small size. You are going to throw it with 30 meters per second. Okay, u is equal to 30 meters per second. Okay, so it's going to reach a maximum point and it's going to fall back, not to the same level but passing the initial level and falling inside to a 35 meters deep well. $35 deep well. So they are asking the time from here to here. Right. Let's do this much more in a beautiful way. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. What are these places? Border situations. Border situations. Right. So we have to find the time. So now here I'm going to be much more organized. Okay. So I'm going to write this as TA. TA is equal to 0. Here TD, I'm going to take it as T. That's the thing that I have to find. Okay. So I can put from TA to B, motion equation, B to C, motion equations, and C to D. But the beautiful thing in these linear motion equations is you can start whatever the place you want and end at whatever the place you can. So I'm going to put the linear motion equation from A to D. Okay, from A to D. Right. So here I'm going to change the style that I'm going to write here. From A to D. Okay, from A to D means here, is it like this? Is it going like this? No, it's going in this path. I'm mentioning the path here. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing. So I don't take this direction as positive. I said in the last week, I'm taking the path, this path as the positive path. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to write the positive here. I'm going to mention the path here and write the figure positive negatives from the start respective to the starting point, right? From A to B, okay, I'm going to consider this velocity. Which one? This u I'm going to consider in this direction as positive. So the things above this level is going to be positive. Why? From here, the starting point, I took everything as positive. Understand? Everything in this direction is going to be negative, right? Negative. Okay. So I'll keep these pink color lines until now. So I'm going to put this equation from A to D path. So what are the things that I know now? Right. White color. So we know the initial velocity. We have to find the time. Okay. That is TD. Okay. That is TD. We know what? We know the displacement from A to D. Do you know the displacement? Okay, let's think that we know. After what the next thing that we know every time in a motion under gravity? That is acceleration, and that is negative or positive 10. What is it? Now you have to remember this, keep this in mind. The gravitational acceleration is in this direction. Okay, but we considered the u as the positive. So u is in this direction. Okay, u is in this direction, g is in this direction, right? So respective to the direction of u, the g's direction is negative. Understand? Everything is vectors: acceleration, velocity, and displacement. You have to be much cautious. Okay, right. Now what I'm going to write? I'm going to write this as negative 10 meters per second. All right. So TD is T, U is what? Positive 30. So I'm going to write it as 30 meters per second. I'm sorry. That's going to be scale. Okay. So I'm going to erase these parts. Okay, right. So the next thing I have to figure it out is the displacement. So this displacement is something that depends on the starting point and the ending point. This is AD. Let's work smart. Okay, this is good. This is AD, okay? Write it AD when you're writing, copying this down. S equal to AD. So displacement is something that depends on the initial point and the final point. The initial point is A, the final point is D. So the direction is in which direction? In this direction. Okay. So is this a vertical motion or an inclined motion? That's a little bit confusion, because if you are from here, you are throwing it. If you are throwing it upwards, vertically up, it's going to come to here. It doesn't go here, right? Okay, but here you have to assume that you keep the hand here, and you throw it up. Okay, and take your hand, and it's going up and come down. So to better understand it much better, I drew it like this. Or we draw this sort of things like this. But this is vertical motion under gravity. Okay, but in this figure you have thrown it with a small inclination, not vertical up. Understand, right? So the displacement is, I'll write this in magenta, highlighted. The displacement is not this distance. Sorry, not this distance. What is it? This object is here. The displacement is this distance. So what is it? 35 meters. Understand? Understand? Okay. Right. So I'll erase this and this. Okay. Right. This hand, I don't need this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, I said that displacement is something that depends on the initial and the final point. Now, if I draw the vector, if I represent this vector, which is displacement, in a geometrical way, how am I going to mention it? I said you have to draw a vector geometrically by a straight line, and you have to mention the direction, arrow, from where you started and where you ended. So I'm going to draw the geometrical figure of this displacement that starts from A, and the A is in this location, I said it, and it finishes at D. So this is the length. If I take the scale as 1:1, I have to draw this 35 meters long. That's how you represent a vector. If it is 20 meters long, 20 meters, the deep of this well, it is going to be like this. This should be, if you take 1:1 ratio, it should be 20 meters in length. Understand? That is much compulsory. Yeah? That's why we learned vectors before we are going to this part. So the direction is like this. What is the direction that we considered as positive? From here to here. From here to here. This is the positive direction of U. We considered that as positive. G is in this direction. So that is negative. Okay. Again, look at this. This is a much confusable area. Okay. If you take it clearly, it's going to be really easy, right? I took S as the direction, the direction of U as the positive direction. This is positive. Okay, that direction I took it as positive. So U is in this direction, that is positive. Okay, G is in this direction, so that is negative. S, what about S? S is in which direction, people? S is in this direction. S is in this direction. So is it negative or positive? That is negative. Understand? We took initial velocity as positive, but the displacement, if we represent it as a vector using geometric principles, that is in the opposite direction. So opposite direction stuff should be negative respective to the positive stuff. Understand? Because we are going to write everything in one equation. Okay, that in that equation we consider one direction as positive and the next direction is going to be negative. Okay, right, fine. So I'm going to write this 35 as not 35 anymore. I'm going to write as 35 minus, that's going to be negative 35. Can a length become negative? Length can't become negative, but a displacement. Displacement is a length, but it is a vector. Length is not a vector. Displacement is a vector. Understand the difference? Right. So it's better if you can write these stuffs in somewhere here. Okay, I'll put it here, and I'm going to Mark it inside a box. Don't start to write still. Don't start to write. Okay. You can substitute this. Now that's all. Finished. What's the equation? Oh my god. S, T and A, what is it? S equal ut plus half at squared. Is it? Su is equal ut plus half at squared. Right. So I'm going to put that equation. So S equal ut plus half at squared. Okay. Right. No problem. Right. So I'm going to consider this as the positive direction. I'm daily mentioning this the positive direction, not that as the S direction. This is the equation's direction. Up. Okay. Sorry. So here S is minus 35. U is plus 30. The time is T plus half. The acceleration is minus 10. And the time is T squared. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Confusion? No, right. So what we can do is we have to do what? Likewise in the above step, we have to do solve a quadratic equation. So I can divide this by. So first of all, what I'm going to do is now we are a little bit adults. I can cancel this off now. 5. Okay, so 35, 35 LCM 5. I'm going to divide by 5. Okay, so this is going to be, so I can put brackets here and write it as divide by 5 again, and I can go to the next step. Understand? Okay, 35 divided by 5 minus 7 6t plus what? That's wrong. You have 3 terms: positive, negative, 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 positive, again negative. This is 5, but you divided by 5, so that is no any 5. So that is t squared. Okay, so let's solve this quadratic equation. What is binomial equation, people?
Equation has 2 terms.
2 terms. Right, fine. I took this t here. 6t minus 7 is equal to 0. Who can tell me the factors?
Minus 7 and t plus 1. Minus 7 t.
Yeah, this is the sum and this is the product. So you have to make this. So negative substance, if you have to multiply and make, you have to use different symbols. So if you are going to use different symbols to take the sum, that's going to be a subtraction. So one is going to be negative 7, one is going to be plus 1, right? So from here, the best way to write is that is better to write it like this. You have to get practice to this. T minus 7 and t plus 1, okay? In the above figures, I said how this happens, but now I'm going to use this method, is equal to 0. Okay, right. So t is equal to 7 or t is equal to minus 1. Okay, so can a time be negative? No. So we have to write that statement here, that special statement here. T is greater than 0. Every time it is greater than 0. Therefore, the time is equal to 7 blah blah. Fine. The ones who like to think can think something. That is it. It's hard to think. Minus 1 second. You don't have any meaning in advanced level physics. But when you go to higher Lagrange's method of solving equation, this minus 1 has a meaning. What is it? From here to here, this is not a vector, okay? But that's the truth. From here to here, if it is thrown from this side, from this point upwards, from here to here, it will take how many seconds? 1 second. Okay, and here to here, I don't know, but from here to here it took 7 seconds. So from here to, if it is 1 second, From here to here to the same level, it will take 6 seconds. Understand that much brilliant you should be when you are going to answer MCQs. Okay, no one have explanations for this, but the thing is, I thought this for myself when I was in your age. So you should be able to. Why? You should do more and more questions. Okay, then only you will understand these patterns. This is not enough. You have to do 100 of questions. I did like 4 tuition tutes. The one which I went to class, the one which single medium people went to class, because I want to have know the competition with single. You don't get a separate rank for English medium students. You have the competition with everyone. Okay, everyone. This is a rat race. This is very competitive. Okay. So every time, try to figure where the single medium students are. Okay. I didn't have a competition with English medium students. If I didn't study at home and went and write the exam, I'm going to be the first in the English section. Why? Because most of the people in that our class, I mean in this Ratnapura district, they didn't know the competition. Why? You have to know the competition if you go to a single medium class, because there's a big population, so they have the competition. The only thing is the population is not that much in English medium. So for that, you have to every time be alert about those students. Okay, not only Ratnapura districts. If you are aiming for an island rank, you have to think about all 80,000 people who is writing the exam. I mean only chemistry students. If you take physics, you have IT students, bio and max. It's going to be like 100,000 students. It's not easy. It's not easy. So T is equal to 7 is the answer. So this is the thing that you have to write. Okay. Understand? Yes. So this first unit weekly paper is going to finish with number 7. Number 7. So you are going to get weekly papers from the second unit, from number 8 and stuff. So get ready for that. Get prepared. Okay. So now, from now onwards, I mean you are A-level students, you should be able to work without sleeping. So those days, I don't know the English term, but we say night එකක් ගහනවා කියලා. I mean you're staying awake for one night. Okay. Someone for 1 week, I do like 2 nights. I be awake and work for 2 nights. That's my policy on those days. So the next day I'm really tired. I hear it for sleeping. Finished. You should work like hell and never give up until you take the pen from the paper. That's what Asha ma'am said us. Finished? Okay, right. Sounds good. So where are you going for chemistry classes? Chemistry classes? Asha, you came from this week or a day before yesterday? Right. So still we have time. We have 10 minutes. Can we do the next question? The next question, just read it. A ball is projected vertically upwards with an initial velocity u. Time taken to reach the height is h. It takes another time period of t2 to reach the ground. Okay. Is there have I given you the diagram? Yeah. So you can try it, but don't do it in this tute. We are going to do everything in this tute. You can try it at home, but the thing is, don't write that in the question theory tute. Okay. So let's go to the question tute. If I can give you homeworks. Okay. So tomorrow, can you this one? Be hunger. Okay. Did you do the essay questions? Paper.
No, sir.
Can you do it at home today?
Yeah.
And send me the photos? Is it possible? Do you have the paper?
Last week.
Yeah. No, I took it. Yeah. So I'll give you the paper. You can watch it and do it. Oh my God. I have it one paper. Do the essay questions and send me it. Okay. So I can give you the marks tomorrow. Okay, fine. So take the question tute. The question tute.
We actually did the same paper. The week before last week.
Yeah, that paper, that same exact paper.
Yes, I have it, sir.
You have it.
Yeah, I have it, sir.
You took it home.
I couldn't do it, sir, because I got sick that
No. Your paper's with me, I guess.
Yes,
Yes, I took it because the structured essays I have to mark. So here you can use this and write answers for the essay questions and send me. Okay. Before you are doing this, again rehearse your knowledge about vectors and stuff. So I hope to do another supplementary seminar for vectors also, because I'll give you tutes. I'll see. Think about it. So I have planned to do vectors again and some questions, many questions. And the graphical, there's a new part, graphical analysis, that you have to have that knowledge before you come to A levels. And trigonometries, you should have a good knowledge about trigonometries. If not, you can't do any vector questions. Okay, p squared equal p squared plus q squared plus 2p cos theta. That cos theta is like really hell. Okay, that's going to be in different ways. So you have tan alpha, and that's real trigonometry. You should know trigonometry if you have to cope those sort of equations. Okay, so I just analyzed the papers of the ones who did the paper, and I saw that you don't have a good knowledge on vectors. I mean, the thing is because you don't know trigonometries. Okay. The thing was, when I was doing A levels, parallelly I was in the trigonometric lesson in my mathematics class, and I was good at it. So for that, it was a real helpful thing for vectors. But still, many biology people was like giving it up because they didn't have the trigonometric knowledge. Your max bio, right? So I hope to do that. So is it possible for you to join an online class at night? At night, I mean, from so I hope to, when you are going to the second year, I hope to do many classes at night. I mean, from 10 to 2 p.m. sorry 10 to 2 a.m. night time classes. You have to get practice, because do you all know that many classes, I mean maths classes, if you all know that Amila Dasanayaka, Anurag, they keep 12-hour classes starting from 6 p.m. to the next morning 6 a.m. Okay, you'll have to have that potential. There are many students who doesn't have that potential. So I was a fan of some those like good sirs. Okay, so I watched the seminar that he continuously did for 4 years, because I'm 2024. I need 2023, 22, and 21. I watched 3 12-hour sessions when I was doing my O levels, because that was really interesting, and that's really interesting when there's a lot of people. You can chat and you can do fun stuff. Okay, so the thing is, the point is, you should be able to stay awake at nights if you are going to write this competitive exam. The one of the most competitive exam in Sri Lanka, not one of the most, the toppest. Okay, in universities you don't have this much. You only 500, maximum 800 students. This is not 800 students. This is like almost 1 lakh, more than that. Understand? Right. So again, for this girl I'm explaining. So I start the theory class at 8 a.m. Okay, I give a weekly paper. There are 6 MCQs. You have to do that within 15 minutes. So at 8:15 to 8:30, I'm going to give the discussion for that particular paper. With that paper, I have attached another paper. Turn it. It is known as the homework assessment paper. Not that. Next part. That blue color page itself. That part. I have give dotted lines. You can tear it. You can separate it. I just gave it for fun, like, because I had no time, just I was punching it out. So you can separate this from here. Okay, you can tear this part off and you can separate this paper. So this is known as the weekly paper series. This is the homework assessment. Okay, so this is for your additional knowledge. If you have additional time, you can do this. There are 20 MCQs. You should do everything. So for this homework assessment, this is your homework dude. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an answer scheme in the next week. This is the third. So for this third, I have given this is the second one. With the third, I gave the second ones. Understand? So for the fourth one, I'm going to give the third answer scheme. That's here. Okay. Understand? So you have a hell of a lot of work. No one does like this. Okay. In English medium, there's a lot of program in singular medium. So I'm starting this for the first time. So you have to do this. Okay. Like you have the test of my this program. So here you can't see it clearly. This homework assessment 3 answer scheme. Okay, the thing is, if you can just write it. I took a photocopy because I left the printouts at home. Just write it as 3. Just give that. My God. Give me 3. No, you can't see it. Just write it as 3. Right. So, who did the homework assessments continuously? Nobody. No. Wait. No time. If you don't have time, for 1 week, just let's take 5 days. No, 7 days. Okay. 7 days. 7 days. Multiply by 24. Multiply by 60. Have this much. So this is going to be how much? 7 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 60. You are going to have 1080 minutes. Okay. Just take it in hours. 7 times 24 is going to be almost 175. Let's take it as 175. Okay. So if you waste 100 hours, you have 75 hours left. 75 hours left. Okay. You wasted 150 hours. You have 25 hours left. More than 1 day. Okay. Sleep, play video games and keep 1 day to work. That's really enough. You can complete yours. Okay. So you are going to sleep, you are going to play, do everything. Okay. Still don't take that pressure, but you have to do that day, that weekly works on that week. Okay. Right. Then it's 12:01, so done for the day. I think the online people will be able to watch the recording. Let's hope you all can. If not, so many students missed the last class and before that class because the recording was not that good. So I hope to do, if I had additional time, I will do that class again and record it for you all. Okay. So I'll try to do it, but that's I mean, if I have time only, I don't have time. So my exams are getting nearer and nearer. So okay, hope you all understand today's class. If you all have any things, you can talk to me and go. Okay. So I didn't give you all questions, ne? Wait. Let's see. If I give a hell lot of work, you are going to die. Where is it? This is the question tube for measurements. Just wait. Linear motion questions. So can you just tell me which questions I did say you all to do at home? First question, did we do it? Yes. Okay. Say okay. Second question, no, we didn't do it. Did I say to do it? No. Third question. What? Huh? Say it to do. I mark it as you all did it. Okay. Third, fourth, did. Fifth, sixth, no. Give me a second. 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10 we did. I said to do. 8, 8, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, that's all. That's all in essay questions. 14, 15, 16, I didn't tell you to. No, I don't think. Did you understand? Huh? No. I'm asking about the essay questions. The 8th, 9th, 10th essay question, did I tell you to do it? No. My God. I didn't mention about MCQ still. Okay. Wait, tell me again. Tell me again. I have to mark it. If not, I will repeat the questions. Okay, essay questions. First, only 1, 6. Then 1. We didn't do it. Sure. Did I say to do it? No. Only 4 and 6. 4 and 6. And 2. We did 2. So 3, 1 you never touched. Okay. So I didn't give it as homework. Okay. So this week do 1, 2. 1 and 2. I said I will do that. Sorry. Do 1, not 2. Do 1, not 3. Okay. This week's homework. 1 and this question. Can you do it? No. Yeah, we did the second one, we did the fourth one, we did the sixth one, right? This week you can do the first question. Okay, so now you should be able to do 1, 2, 4 and 6, right? And the next part, let's go to the MCQs. MCQs. What are things that I said to do and you all did both? 1, 2, 3. No 2, 4, 5, no 6, no 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all, right? So during the fourth, second one is below the statement, gap between rubrics. This part. So that part I'll hope to do. Then now we are still in 5th, like we go to the 10th, that will automatically come. That I mean the nth second part. So after that you can try to do that. After that you have projectile motions. So this week you don't have any homeworks in this tute. Just complete the first question. Release the stone from here. Velocity after the 3 seconds. Find the displacement and velocity of the stone after 3 seconds. That's an easy question. That's all. So here you have done the first, second, fourth. And 6th in MCQ, you have to do some questions related to the nth second. Then the MCQ is also completed, which is related to the motion under gravity. Okay, so after that, from the next week or after the other week, I'll give you all the page books also. Then the work is going to increase. Okay, I'll put it down. So the page books are released this month. So who took the page book? Still not? No. Okay. Still okay. I'll give you all. So I'll mention if it is possible to give you all in the group. Okay. Then that's all. Do the homework assessments and revise the notes, theories. Again, revise the first unit. It is finished. So you did the paper, and this one is still doing the paper, just only essay question. I'll give the marks tomorrow and we are going to discuss the first paper 1. Okay, so everyone should be able to attend the discussion. If you all didn't do the paper, it's fine, come and do the question itself within this time. Okay, so I hope to discuss the whole paper tomorrow. If the time is available, I would be able to complete it. If not, I will do the hard questions and leave the simple questions to her. Understand? I can't make a promise that I would be able to finish that in 4 hours, because it's a discussion. I have to explain everything from tiny to from top. Right. So done for the day. You can leave. Bye.